Hello and welcome to Geekonomics. We're back for another episode, the OG edition. Brian's in his man cave. I'm in my man cave where we've been since last March. It is almost officially a year of the at-home version of Geekonomics in this new format that we've adopted and come to love and enjoy. And we welcome you into our homes as you welcome us into yours. How you doing, Brian? How is things going in your mail room, which looks like a mail room behind you? Sorry, I just saw like a bunch of envelopes behind you.
Mark, I don't know. Maybe I should do the intro. What was that? Are you on cocaine this morning?
No, I'm just in a good mood today. I had my frosted mini wheats. I'm all revved up and ready to go. Full of fiber. So. I'm good to go.
That's good. I'm glad to hear, Mark, because we got a lot to talk about. We have Golden Globes. We have WandaVision. We got some video game news. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening. And you know what's weird? I always say, well, this week, what did you do? What have you been up to?
Yeah.
Because a part of me, my brain was like, man,
what did I do this week?
What did I do this week? It's all blur.
What was I doing?
Yeah. What? Any watch, read?
Actually, it's been popping up on since we got rid of the cable. I have the Amazon Prime video Fire Stick situation going.
Yeah.
And that like suggests shows for you to watch.
Yeah.
I've never seen the show Mad Men. Our friend Megan Duffy has guest appeared on that show a couple times. And I remember back when she was on those episodes, it was like a thing. But I never really got into the show, never watched any of the episodes or anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give this Mad Men show a try.
Yeah, how is it?
I'm going to do the Brian thing and watch a show from 15 years ago and finally watch it.
What's so wrong with that?
I'm on the second season. I've burned through 2 seasons over the weekend.
Over a weekend?
Yeah, only like 13 episodes.
How long?
Like an hour.
Oh my God. 13 hours?
Well, I mean, it started like Friday, so it's not like technically the weekend. But, you know.
Oh my God. So it's good.
It's good. I like it. I like it a lot.
I mean, so AMC started off Mad Men and then Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And then, then Walking Dead became popular.
Yeah.
And that's how AMC
Hell on Wheels,
really,
everything.
Yeah, got their start was Mad Men and Breaking Bad. I mean, must-watch television. AMC turned into that with those shows. And it's interesting because Allison Brie from Community was actually doing those two shows in tandem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I did not know until I started watching. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Allison Brie.
Yeah. So it's a show that's been on my list that just gets longer.
Yeah.
And longer.
I mean, if you've done any marketing stuff ever in your life, it's very interesting to see how like it all started, basically. Like give us back when TV was starting and how they kind of started doing all that, and it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that goes on in Mad Men, but that's
sexism and all that stuff.
All that stuff. Yeah, racism, all that stuff.
Yeah,
homophobia, all the old tropes.
Mad Men
stuff that we're still going through now. They were going through in the '60s, but we'd act like it's all of a sudden changed. But we just dress it up better now than we used to.
Well, actually, we change it by not doing it now. We call it out.
Well,
People get fired.
We say we call it out. Yeah. But we just it still happens.
Oh,
you have people like, it's amazing to me that there used to be guys that used to just press the buttons on the elevator and would just ride an elevator all day. It's like, just kind of funny. It's like one of the things. There's just things in there. It's like, that was actually a job at one point. Someone would just be the elevator operator.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's true. Well, okay.
It's like
take that job.
The excess that is America, that we would make up a job for somebody that all you do is just press a button. What floor are you going to? Boop.
How long you been going to the Big E? Because I'm going to give you the worst
since I was
job.
A kid.
Okay, in the bathroom attendants at the Big E make no sense to me. A, I can piss by myself. B, I can get my own paper towel. And I'm not tipping you for taking a dookie. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it is the most bizarre.
It was just, I think it was just a holdover. It was just more of a a way to keep have a janitor without having to have them roam around the whole place, kind of thing. Like you're just
Basically,
in
they're
charge of it.
cleaning up after people, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to tip you. And you, why? Why
Well,
is
it
this
was
your
just I think
job?
that was a holdover from the early days of the Big E. I mean, think about that thing that's been going on for 100 years. So, 100 years
I know.
ago, you kind of needed it. It was like an outhouse, basically. It was just peeing in a trough.
I know, but now we don't need that.
It's
I mean,
just one of those things
if you
that's
go
held
to a
over.
fancy restaurant and they have all
A
the
lot of
equipment
county
on,
fairs have that though. Like I know I've been to like the Woodstock Fair, and they still have like the bathroom attendant that like takes care of each bathroom, and that's all they do all day is just
yeah,
janitor that bathroom.
I don't know. It's a weird one. To me, it's a weird one. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's like the elevator rider, you know? It's just, I
Yeah.
can hit my own button.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're the button pushers, right?
Yeah.
So Mad Men, I'll definitely have to check that out eventually. I do want to check it out. So
It's good. There's a like I knew there was a lot of good actors in it, but I didn't really know how many good actors were in it.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It was an amazing cast. Whoever handled all that. I mean, back then there was a lot of like John Hamm's in there, uh, Kristen Hendricks, which I know Rocky's a fan of, a bunch of John Slattery. It's like they just keep rolling them out. It's crazy.
The good times keep rolling, baby.
And it's the deep story of the show is like crazier than you would expect. Like if it's not just like it's a show about advertising men. It's like John Hamm's character's story is like way more than I ever thought it was. I was like, oh wow,
Right.
I didn't know that was all going on in the show.
Are you watching with Claire?
No, she doesn't care.
Oh.
She's watching murder shows, which had a nice video, which is now her theme song from Saturday Night Live over the weekend.
Oh, I didn't watch. I'm behind on.
Oh
SNL,
man,
so don't
they did a whole
ruin
music
it.
video of just women watching murder shows.
Oh God, me and Nelson got to watch it. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm behind. So
yeah.
all right. I finished volume 5 of the Boys graphic novels. I have one more volume left. I highly recommend it, Mark, if you love the show, because they do like it's interesting just to see what the show did.
Yeah, how they convert it.
And man, you get the whole backstory of well, I can't think of his name now. I'm a horrible person. The lead, not Huey, but the lead of the Boys. I'm having a memory blank. Help me out here, man.
I can't think of it either. That's why I'm not saying anything.
Well, Huey,
I see his face. I know who he is.
You get Huey's backstory. And it's good. It's one of my favorite. Butcher's backstory. Oof. Oh my God, it is so good. But they save it to the end. Like,
you ever one of those things you have to like go deep into your files of your brain, and then like afterwards you're exhausted.
It's funny because I just read it. I just finished the volume this past week, and I don't know why I couldn't think of it.
I haven't seen that show since it ended, the season ended. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not thinking about that show right now. That file's been shut down.
I know.
It was dormant. So I had to like wind it back up again.
Mark, if you can get your hands on the volumes, I would get it because season 3, they said they're going to do Herogasm. Oh man, if they do it right, it's going to be the most craziest thing. And I think the comic book version obviously will be a little bit more
graphic.
A little bit graphic.
TV show would be.
Basically, this is it. The superheroes, what they do is they say there's a big threat in outer space and they have to leave. They all have to leave together to defeat this big threat. But then they really go down to this secluded island and they just do drugs and have sex. That's it. It's like they're blowing off steam. So it's like
hedonism kind of thing.
That kind of thing. And the thing is, they bring prostitutes in, they bring drugs in, and they just go at it. Like, that's Herogasm, right? So the world thinks they're saving us. They're off in outer space doing a big mission, but they're just fucking going at it like mad people. So it's gonna be interesting how they portray that on the Amazon series. So I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited to see
Mad Men. Yeah. Yeah.
But man, I really haven't watched anything new or anything this week. This week is just a weird week.
Your reaction to this is like amazing to me. It's like, I
Yeah.
haven't done anything. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know. I mean, WandaVision's really the only thing I watched and obsessed over, but
Yeah. Speaking of you were talking about The Boys, Amazon, I believe it's Amazon. It's gonna be on Amazon. Yeah.
It is on Amazon.
No, Invincible is coming to Amazon as a cartoon.
Yes, it's supposed to be very mature.
Yes.
That's Robert Kirkman.
Yes, Robert Kirkman and Steven Yeun's playing Invincible.
Yeah, and I really want the live action version of Chew because Steven Yeun's supposed to play the lead on that. And I really hope maybe Robert Kirkman will do more with Amazon, and maybe a show like that could exist on Amazon. And I think that Seth Rogen, since he's been producing these amazing graphic novel to TV, like he's a producer on The Boys, The Preacher. He did the one that was on Hulu, Future Man. And he's been producing a lot of these things and doing such a great job. I think Chew would be another great get.
That'd be a good one.
I think Seth Rogen's doing an amazing job with these graphic to TV versions. I mean, I guess
that's probably the only thing that's coming out. I don't know if you saw this over the weekend. I think it's coming to Hulu. MODOK cartoon with Patton Oswalt as MODOK.
That was something they showed off like last year during the whole thing. It looks funny as hell. It's like stop motion looking.
It's kind of like a Robot Chicken-y kind of.
Yeah, I'm sure they're using computer generated, maybe.
Yeah, but it has that kind of feel to it.
Yeah, like a Lego movie.
Yeah, like the Lego movie.
You know what I'm saying.
But it looks insane. It looks off the wall.
Yeah. It looks really funny. Yeah, it does.
It's actually Marvel, like an actual Marvel production, so it's even more kind of amazing that it's.
Well, Marvel, it's sanctioned by Marvel because.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just like it's
adult oriented.
It shows that there's a possibility for Deadpool with this going on. It's like if they can do this and they can do Punisher and all those shows, then I don't understand why people are like, I don't know if they'll be able to do Deadpool.
Well, they already are. I mean, it's already been greenlit. Deadpool 3 was been greenlit by Marvel. It's going to be rated R, and they're already rating it. I mean, so it is happening. So
and speaking of Punisher, the rights to Punisher and Jessica Jones have now also fallen back to Marvel off of Netflix.
Well, I mean, we all knew that.
Well, I mean, the Netflix sold the rights to the shows, but now Marvel has them, so they could technically, if they wanted to, use those characters
going on Disney Plus.
No, but I could see them doing bringing John Bernthal into the MCU as Punisher.
Yeah, or they could just recast him. I mean,
he was really good.
Yeah, but I mean, recasting.
He'd fit perfectly into that Spider-Man like universe, kind of.
I'm fine with recasting because it would be nice to have.
But who would you recast though?
I don't know.
Why would you? When you have someone that's so good at it, it's like you could still use that same character.
Yeah, I know.
That same storyline, just move it into the universe.
I don't know. I'm
because it was happening in that universe already. They had like references to the MCU.
References, but it wasn't official. Like they just referenced things, but
no. But I'm saying, but you could easily, if they're going to do that with, I mean, the theory is they're going to do that with Matt Murdock. If they bring Daredevil in to Spider-Man 3, which we got a name for. And then, I mean, that opens the door to bringing the rest of the Netflix squad.
I don't really care about seeing the Netflix squad in there at all. Like, I'm over it. I don't care. I mean, they're great for what they were, but I'm over it. Like, I don't care if I never see any of those characters again by those.
I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying you could still. I mean, I could see spot appearances in movies from like Punisher or Daredevil in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, I mean, I could see like
They're
a
kind of
cameo,
connected to
like a
Spider-Man.
reference.
That's like their.
I know. I could see references definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you could have like, you know.
I would be happy. I think, okay, in my mind, that world existed. It's hyper realistic. It's rated R. It's hyper violent, and then the MCU is a little bit tonally different. So
To
if
me,
you
it'd be
were,
great if they did like if
you don't
they
need to
used
bring
it
those
and
characters
did
in.
like the comic books, and they started instead of it being like a Marvel movie, like an MCU movie, they do like a Marvel Knights universe kind of.
I bet you. Well, Deadpool 3 will be the testing ground. I'm sure.
Yeah.
If they can pull that off.
Because if you introduce the multiverse, you could have it be like a different universe kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it could be a more hyper realistic, grittier universe than the one that this is the other MCU stuff's taking place in.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like to see new stuff rather than tread old ground, I guess. I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Welcome to the new world, Brian. Everything's retreaded.
Yeah, but MCU
Frasier's coming back. I mean, come on.
I'm not gonna watch that. I don't care. It's not gonna do. Listen, I can tell you, every reboot of a TV show either has been canceled or has changed, and it's now different. I think the only one that has outlasted, Connor,
Will and Grace,
and Will and Grace, are the only two that are continuing. But Murphy Brown canceled.
That was just a bad idea. I mean, no one wanted that. No one was asking for a Murphy Brown.
I was excited for Murphy Brown.
You were the only one, but no one else was asking for a Murphy Brown reboot.
You know what it was? I watched the first episode and I had such nostalgia for that show.
Yeah.
And I love the characters, but when I watched it, just going back to that old sitcom, they're old. Going back to that sitcom,
wicked old, not even just relatively old, like really old.
The cringy jokes in that laugh track.
Yeah,
I couldn't get past. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Like
I'm
putting
done with
Ted
laugh
Danson
tracks.
back behind the bar. It's like it's just not happening. It just doesn't work.
I love Cheers. We watched all of Cheers last year and I loved it. But I don't want to see a Cheers reboot. I don't want to see a Frasier. I don't care. I just ignore it. They'll happen, and guess what? They'll be gone in weeks, and then nobody will give a shit. I mean, Mad About You came back, and I love Mad About You, but I have no interest.
On a service that no one even has. So that's the other thing. It's like no one even saw it. It was on some like Comcast regional thing or something.
Yeah, I don't even know what that was all about, right?
It's like he was on some random.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anywho,
Mark, I got news. Let's go through the
You got news.
so we can get to WandaVision.
You got the news.
So the Golden Globes happened last night.
They did.
We both watched it.
Bi-coastal.
I like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler's thing where they put the hand through the line, and I loved all the jokes. I thought they did a great job.
I think they kind of hit way too much on there not being any like black reporters. I think it was after about the 30th joke about it. It was like, we get it. There's no black reporters in the foreign press.
Well, they didn't. They had to. And then they need to just change it. That's all.
It's just one of those things where it's like an organization that realizes they have an issue, like is trying to distract you from the issue by making jokes about it. It then just like makes it to the point where it's like we don't care anymore.
I don't think it's about the audience, Mark. I think it's putting pressure on them to change. That's all. Listen, it's above my pay grade. Let's not talk about it. They did what they did.
It's just one of those things. Like I don't want to hear about it anymore. After about the first hour of jokes, I was like, okay.
But they only made the jokes in the very beginning.
Well, every person made a comment about it and everything. It was like, we get it. We all know. We understand. Can we just move this show along?
But you're talking about it now, so now I want to move on.
Yeah. See, exactly.
I don't care. That's their fight. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I did like the
Did you know any of the movies? I knew like 3 of the movies that were nominated for things.
I'm so behind. I knew majority of the movies.
Who are these movies?
I knew they existed.
Anthony Hopkins made a movie inside his apartment.
Father, I knew about that. I want to see that. I knew.
They just take a film crew to Anthony Hopkins' apartment and just film it there.
TV shows, half the TV shows, I don't even know what are they.
I know all the TV shows because that's all I watch is TV. So,
well,
being trapped here, this is all I do now. Is
the one thing that really didn't work is how before commercial before the next awards.
The Zoom screens.
And they would play the audio.
No, the people just randomly talking to each other.
Yeah, it was so weird. We don't need to know their conversation.
Even more weird was like as people were giving their speeches, they would have like the four screen of like other people that were in the thing at the same time. Like
we don't need that. Just stay on the one.
Like why don't like the people who lost don't want to be on camera right now. They just all found out they didn't win for what they did. Like their work wasn't good enough to win an award. So let's put them on screen. And watch them just kind of just listen to this other person.
You know what it's like though? Back in the old days, like 2 years ago, they would just zoom in on one person who lost while the winner was talking. Yeah. Now you have all the reactions at once. Yeah. My favorite was when Sudeikis won for Lasso, and then Don Cheadle, because he was just rambling. Don Cheadle's like, "Yes, wrap it up, baby, wrap it up."
Well, the funny thing about that is you can tell like Sudeikis like went into it thinking he had no chance of winning because he's like, wearing like some random sweatshirt he grabbed out of his dresser.
He's wearing a hoodie. I mean, he was not prepared. He said he wasn't. He goes, "I didn't think you'd win."
Yeah. Which is a show I got to start watching. Ted Lasso. That's like I'm surprised I haven't watched it yet.
Well, you have to get Apple TV, Apple Plus.
Oh, is that what it's on? That's why I haven't
Apple
seen
Plus.
it. Oh, I was like, how come I haven't seen that show? That's why.
Yeah.
Apple Plus.
I'm not. I am, like I've said in our chat. I'm tapped out on services.
Well, it's not even a service. You have to like get a whole piece of equipment just to watch that.
No, you don't. It's an app. Apple TV is an app on everything.
Oh, I thought it was like only on like the Apple TV like box thing you have.
No. You can get Apple TV on Amazon, on your Xbox should have it, PlayStation. It's an app. It's just Apple Plus. It's Apple Plus, right? So you can. It's a normal app.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. It's just another streaming service. That's all it is.
I mean, the only reason to get that streaming service would be for that show and the like Tom Hanks movies. Because all Tom Hanks movies are on there.
I would really want to watch the Beastie Boys doc they've released. That was
that one too. Yeah, that's another reason. Yeah.
But see, it's like I'm gonna have to be like I got to cancel someone else. And honestly, Apple doesn't have enough for me to care right now. I would have to like a couple years go by, and then
just get a free subscription and spend a week watching everything, and then just cancel it.
And just cancel it because it's
that's what you do.
I just can't do it.
It's like cut the cord. I found these little tricks that I realized. I was going to binge watch the show for a week and then I won't have to watch it again.
Yeah. But some of the big winners, like the big winners, Soul winning Best Animated.
Or Saul, if you're Tracy Morgan.
Saul. Did he say it that way?
He's like, Saul? He looked at the paper like, I didn't read that, right?
It was great. Catherine O'Hara, Schitt's Creek, and Schitt's Creek won for Best Series.
Yes.
Which was awesome. And I think that last season was her season. I mean, she really shined in that one. That was so good.
Yeah.
Soul won Best Soundtrack. My boy Trent Reznor, baby. Yeah. He's so close to getting an EGOT. He just has to write a musical now and get a Tony Award.
I'm pretty sure he could write a musical of some sort.
Me and Mike were joking. He
a goth musical.
Pretty Hate Machine, the musical. And and then have Matt Stone and Trey Parker come in and help write it with them because this is a Book of Mormon and you can have some humor in there, really dark humor. I mean, I would be great. Have Manuel come in and he could play Hamilton for some reason. I don't know.
It's called Trent, and it's have be like the Trent Reznor story.
Yeah, and oh my God, Emmanuel can play Trent Reznor.
Yeah. Lin Miranda could play Trent Reznor. He's
my God.
He's 40 years old now, but he could play a teenager.
This is great.
Being angsty and writing music.
You know what? Half the movies we watch, it's adults playing teenagers.
Yeah, I know. Or foreigners or people from England.
You know, Tom Holland is like in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
And he's playing a teenager.
That's everything, but it's just kind of,
Yeah. Anyway. So Aaron Sorkin, the trial of the Chicago 7 won for motion picture, which was really good screenplay.
It's a really good movie.
I want to check that out.
Yeah, it was very good. Sacha Baron Cohen was very good in it.
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen winning for
Borat subsequent movie film.
Borat winning, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I did not expect that at all. So good for him. I was really excited by that. And
The Crown won a lot of stuff.
The Crown won for Best Actor and Actress.
Is that show over now? Is that why they were giving it so many?
No,
things?
it wins a lot every year. I don't know when it's going to end.
I don't know.
It-
I tried watching. I
it's
got
going
2 seasons in
through-
and just can't.
It's going through all the dynasties, obviously. Right now, they're at Princess
now
Di.
they're in Princess Di and Charles.
I'm sure they'll have one more season after this, but I personally give two shits about the royal family. I don't care.
I mean, Gillian Anderson's in it, so that's like on like a reason to watch it. But
I was so happy she won. I love.
She plays
Gillian
Margaret
Anderson.
Thatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care about the royal family at all.
I didn't either, but I watched the first 2 seasons, because who's he watched it from Doctor Who? Matthew Smith was in it. He played.
Yeah. Oh, he won. I mean, everybody wins on that show. There's no doubt it's a fantastic show.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I don't care.
I mean, there's still drama going on in the royal family, so I'm pretty sure they can keep the show going. I mean, they got the Meghan Markle stuff and all that. That's worth putting a show together for.
The Queen's Gambit. Anna
Great
Taylor-Joy.
movie, great miniseries. That was really good.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Chadwick I'm surprised you haven't seen it yet. It's really good. It's not that hard. It's like 10 episodes.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I'll have to watch it on my lunch break or something.
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman winning, which was so cool.
Yes, Ma Rainey's.
Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yeah. Which I keep meaning to watch, because that was literally his last thing he did, and he looks not well in it. I guess
he's very thin. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Nomadland won for Best Motion Picture.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's other winners too. I just briefly went through them all. It was a great show. I think they did the best they could with Zoom. It was cool.
I mean, they had like a live audience. It was all first responders and essential workers. And they had people, like their actual presenters were live and stuff. It was just the winners and nominees were all on screens.
Right.
But it was good for what it was.
For what it was. Yeah, I mean, the Oscars are going to release their nominees March 15th of this month. And I think the Oscars are in April. I love the Oscars. I'm very excited because then we get all the movies. And the one thing about this year is literally all the movies that will be nominated will be on some sort of service. So I don't have to go to the theater. This is what I've been wanting all my life, to have easy access to the movie.
Somewhat true, because like that movie, The Father, I don't know where that, like, I haven't heard a word about that movie, but I kind of want to see it because
it's about dementia.
Yeah. It looks very good. It's just I don't know if it's streaming or if it was like released earlier in the year.
I think it's streaming.
A lot of stuff, I looked at some of the stuff was like very early last year. It was released like right after the Golden Globes, kind of like that, like time frame, like right at the beginning of the pandemic, basically. But
and then Mark, so this is a show that I don't even know if will ever exist, but originally Showtime was going to put out the Halo TV show, and
yes, they had a trailer for it and everything,
and then it never happened. And then Halo 4 came out, Halo 5 came out, then Halo Infinite got pushed.
Yeah,
Halo's kind of gone away. I think it's not as popular as it once was, but now they're saying we're getting a Halo TV show next year.
Yeah,
but it will be on Paramount Plus.
Yes,
on another streaming service.
Yeah, well, it's just the one that's taking over CBS All Access.
Yes.
So if you have CBS All Access, you're basically just being switched to a Paramount Plus.
Right, and it's
kind of along the lines of the WWE network going away, and now you're going to be on Peacock.
Well, also it's just like HBO Now turned into HBO Max, because I have HBO Now, and it just so there might be I think it's going to be a little bit more expensive if you want the non-commercial package on Paramount Plus, but I think the month to month they said I think it's only maybe $1 difference.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if this Halo show is actually going to happen, but I feel like Paramount Plus wants it might now really happen, because Paramount Plus is going to need these shows to get people to come in. Because I didn't know the Twilight Zone was canceled. I
neither.
And I know that was very popular. People talked about it.
Yeah.
But you have the Star Treks, but you gotta appeal to more than just the Star Trek people. you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I like I said, I will wait. I will wait on this. Maybe if they do a free trial and all the episodes are out, I can check it out, or I can just hear the verdict. If it's a bad show, then I don't really care.
Mm.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting to hear about. And I will quickly go over some of the FanFest stuff.
Before that, we did get late last week. We mentioned it. I mentioned it earlier. We got the teaser for the new Spider-Man movie, which gave us the name of the movie.
I thought you said the name already. No?
I did not.
Oh,
I did not.
what's the name again?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yeah. Well, they each actor put a thing on social media where the name of the movie was different, so nobody knew.
Yeah.
And then they finally released that. Like they were workshopping the name like a joke.
Yeah.
Can't Go Back Home. Everything with home in it, and they put that big that like board, the
whiteboard with all this stuff on it.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't watch the teaser because I don't know. I just want to stay away from anything, but
it wasn't anything in there. It was just a kind of like the no movie stuff.
Gotcha.
It was all just them, like the same. It was just their stuff mixed together.
Yeah,
into a video. Cool. So
I'll have to check it out. I'm excited for the new Spider-Man at the end of the year. Man.
I'm excited for it.
I think that's going to be the one movie that does come out. I don't think Black Widow's coming out. I think that's going to.
I think they're going to come out, but they won't come out like they'll be like the split release kind of thing. Like
it has to be
in theaters, but also
because it's a younger audience that it appeals to. But when that younger audience in most states haven't been vaccinated yet because you haven't gotten there by that time. I mean, Connecticut just opened up 55 and older today.
Yeah.
My age group is actually going to be next month.
Yes, our age group. Yes.
Yeah, our age group. But even though
same age, what are you talking about?
Even though I sign up, right?
It's not going to happen right away.
I'm going to have like thousands of people in front of me.
Yes.
So it's like I probably won't be vaccinated until like June.
Yeah.
So
or May at the earliest.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You need to. I'm gonna have to get two vaccines. Two.
Well, they just unleashed the Johnson, which is the one shot. So.
Which I'm fine with getting that one, but I don't know. Anyway,
I'll take anything. I'll take anything at this point. Anything that gets me out of here, I'm for.
Yeah, Black Widow. I hope will be a split, but I think Spider-Man will be the first big release in the theater.
Well, you got like Eternals is coming out, and
does it come out next year?
No, Eternals this year, and Shang-Chi is this year.
See, I'm more excited about Spider-Man. I'll see those, but I'm more excited about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So.
And the plethora of Disney Plus shows. So.
Yeah. But FanFest happened this weekend.
And what is FanFest for those who don't know, like myself?
It's just like a weekend. It's sort of like a Comic-Con. They just released a bunch of new stuff. Talking about they talked about your favorite Justice League.
Yes.
The Days Gone. There's a Netflix Jupiter's Legacy is Lord of the Rings.
Is that a Family Matters reboot? Days Gone. Days Gone by.
No, the day before.
Different world and a family.
I am excited to see the Snyder Cut because Deathstroke and Batman are teaming up in this cut, which I'm very excited for.
Is that Marginello, whatever his name is?
Yeah. The Flash season
Mr. Sofia Vergara.
Season 7 of The Flash is going to be happening, which I didn't even know The Flash was still on.
Yeah. I lost that CW a long bit ago.
Dude, you loved the CW. I remember
I was into them, and then they just once they started the crossovers and the multiverses and this person and that person, and then you get sucked into the things and people get lost in space, and it got too far off the rails for me.
Right. And
then you had to watch too many shows because they were like doing things where you had to watch like
Yeah.
Then did you have to watch The Flash? You had to watch Arrow. You had to watch Supergirl, was on CBS at the time. And then you had to watch, like, then that Black Lightning came out, and then like this one came out, and then Jimmy Olsen's second cousin got a show. It was too much.
Well, FanFest is like a Warner Brothers DC event. Last year they had.
Yeah.
And one last bit of news. I thought this was kind of interesting. The Mortal Kombat trailer is breaking records previously held by Deadpool 2 and Logan. It's 160 million views and counting. And this is big because it's a red band trailer. Yeah. And the record holder was Deadpool 2 and then Logan. Yeah. So this is beating. It's interesting. I think this movie is going to do very well, especially to me in HBO Max.
Well, you think about it too, it's also like the first like rough action movie that we've seen in over a year.
Well, it's the first Mortal Kombat movie that looks kick ass.
Well, I think there's like really multiple reasons. That's what I'm saying. I think there's like multiple categories that this is falling into. It's like people are ready to like get back into superhero movies, and this is like the first one that's a possibility of actually seeing a superhero movie.
It's a video game movie. There's no superhero.
But I'm saying, you know what I mean? But that kind of movie.
Yeah. It's gonna be big. All right, Mark.
Especially after the disappointment that was Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, it was kind of flat. All right, let's WandaVision.
Yes. Episode 8. We got the origin story of Wanda. We went all the way back. We found Agatha.
But first, we started off the whole episode with the origin story of Agatha.
That's what I was just saying, yeah.
You said WandaVision.
Well, I was going to say, then we got also at the beginning of the episode, we got the birth of Agatha's darkness, or Harkness's darkness character, with the crazy witch coven.
Well, it's the Salem witch trial, and it was interesting.
Yes,
they were
not a witch trial, but it was just a bunch of witches.
Well, it took place in Salem, Salem, Massachusetts.
Yes,
Salem witch trials happened there.
Yes,
and it was interesting how
it wasn't a witch trial. It was just
It was. They were going to burn her on the stake. That's what the witch trial was. They were going to.
I think it was like an initiation thing to begin with, and then it turned into something different.
They were killing her. They were going to kill her.
Well, because she was bad.
Yes.
Bad witch.
What were they going to initiate her to?
Well, they were checking to see if she wanted to find out. They wanted to get her. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways.
Are you on drugs, Mark?
They shot beams at her. Then she sucked all their. She magicked all of them.
Yeah.
She ate them like yogurt on a beach.
Yeah, and she and they had de aging on her a little bit, and it looked good.
Yeah.
But that was I've kind of felt like it was cool to see that. I don't know if
it was all that just to show that the reason why she got the brooch. That was all that was for. It's like,
well,
this is why she got the brooch.
No, it's also to show witches exist in this world.
Yeah,
this isn't a mutant.
Yeah,
witches and this magic exists. I think this is
to say magic exists and not mutants.
Yeah, magic exists in this world now.
Because they tried to pawn off, or later on, they tried to pawn off that it was a fake Pietro. That, because Agatha says, "Oh, I even brought in a fake." Brother.
So there's no multiverse. It was just.
She said that though, but doesn't mean that's what it doesn't mean it's true.
It is true because she
it just seems like that's a lot of work for them to go and get Evan Peters.
That was
in the other movies as Quicksilver.
No, Kevin
just
Feige
to put him in this movie.
Kevin Feige did an interview. Kevin Feige did an interview over the weekend that just came out, and he said the idea was to have him play that character. That was an early idea. When they first got the idea for the show. And it was just a fun thing. There was nothing more than that. It was just a fun thing. It's an Easter egg.
It's a painful Easter egg.
I thought it was awesome.
It is, but it's also very painful for all the people who want to see the X-Men brought over into the MCU.
Kevin Feige said the X-Men's not coming until later, and I think that's.
I know, but it was just like you had like that
we over speculated. That's it. I mean, the fun of the show is speculating, and we're not.
I mean, it's not over
right.
speculating. You bring in the guy that was in the movies, and then put him in this. It's not really over speculating. It's like, is this our gateway to X-Men?
And it wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, she spells it out for us, and she just says, "I just got it someone else because your brother had bullet holes in him and was like literally on a different continent." Like, she's not that powerful, so she's just like, "I just recasted him," and that's, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it makes sense because she didn't recognize him, and you know, for us fans, yes, it made us think that way.
Yeah.
But the payoff was just a random guy. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm totally fine with the MCU recasting the X-Men and getting
I know you're all about recasting everybody. You just want to recast everybody. You're a recaster, is what you are.
Let the past die and let's just move forward.
Oh my god, you were. Recast. We should have just recast Luke Skywalker then in the Mandalorian.
Well, they just put a paper picture over some guy's face.
It's a little bit more technical than that, but yes.
He's like, I'm Luke Skywalker. No.
So you feel powerful.
I think that's a legacy character.
Okay, whatever.
Peters,
anyways, moving on. Don't care.
Pietro's not a legacy character.
We get the whole thing of Wanda's parents dying. You get to see that happen. You get
hold on. Yeah, stop there. Let's stop there.
Oh, okay.
That scene. So before we even get there, Hagatha's playing with her. Just
stop calling her Hagatha. It's
whatever.
Agatha.
Just playing with her.
No H.
Slapping her around in the basement, just like.
Well, because she wants to know how she did this.
Yeah.
She doesn't. She really thinks at the beginning of the episode she thinks Wanda did this. Like Wanda came up with the magical incantation to make this happen.
Yeah, she wants to know where.
So she was like, "Tell me how you did this." Wanda doesn't know how she did it. It just happened.
But she goes through all her stages of grief. You see all the pain that she has endured through.
And you see all the connections in the sitcom episodes of why they picked those sitcoms.
It happened. That was my biggest question. Why were these shows? And then she's at home and her parents have these.
And they're
DVDs.
watching the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yeah,
and that's what the first episode was.
Makes so.
Then the second episode was, and they showed the Bewitched box in the thing, and that's why it was Bewitched with the second episode.
Malcolm in the Middle was
was the episode they're sitting on the bed.
So let's talk about
and
that
then we
first
find
scene,
out.
though.
Well, go ahead.
No, let's stop. So she's a kid, and that scene with the parents. Oh my God! Just like that, the parents just get wiped out, and I'm like, holy crap! And then
the Stark bomb just drops,
and it's beeping, and she stopped it, not knowingly, because she goes,
didn't stop it.
She says, Agatha says,
"How'd you stop it?
How'd you stop it?" And she goes, "Well, I always thought it was just a bad. I thought it was." No,
she said it was a dud. They were stuck there for 2 days. She didn't stop it. It was just a dud bomb that never went off.
See, I got the impression she did unknowingly.
I think she was thinking that she was stopping it because she was literally Wanda at that point, like adult Wanda, playing the part of the kid, because Agatha pushes her into the memory and says it's you're on now. So now she's shrunk down to, because she's using Agatha magic to do this. So Agatha put her in the small body, and she was as her adult self trying to stop the bomb.
I think she did stop the bomb. That's what I got to.
It was a dud. It was just a dud bomb. She didn't get powers.
Watch it.
She didn't get powers until she got touched by the Mind Stone.
No, I think the Mind Stone amplified. She was born.
No, she didn't have powers. She wasn't a witch. She had no powers.
You sure?
Yes.
I got the impression she was born this way.
No, she was not born this way. She was not Lady Gaga.
Well, no.
She was not born this way.
Because she didn't get she was. They were running experiments on her before the Mind Stone.
No.
The reason she had that reaction to the Mind Stone is because she had the powers.
No.
Are you sure? Because that's what I got out.
You're getting all jumbled up here. She only did the hand thing because it was Wanda playing herself as a child. So she was just instinctively putting her hand out to stop using her magic thing.
I'm looking this up because I disagree with you.
She didn't have the powers until she got hit by the Mind Stone. That's how she got the powers.
No, I think that amplified it. Hold on.
No.
Hold on. I'm gonna look it up because I don't see it that way.
Because her brother didn't have speed, didn't have the fast speed until they got hit by the Mind Stone.
Hold on.
You're getting way too jumbled up here. But anyways, so they go from
I don't know.
They go from that scene to Wanda in the test chamber as a part of Hydra, because she joined Hydra after the bomb situation, and they were experimented on, and she was a volunteer to get interaction with the Mind Stone, which was Loki's staff. So she goes into the room, stands there, the Mind Stone jumps out of the staff, then explodes, and you see a silhouette of Wanda. And if you look really closely, there's a thing I saw after the fact that someone mentioned on internet. Inside the outline of Wanda is an outline of Vision. In Wanda's legs, in between Wanda's legs, there's an outline of a human in between her legs, another body, and the Wanda's jacket fits, the whole shape fits Vision and the cape. So it's to show that they're connected because of the Mind Stone. Which I thought was very crazy. And then they show right after that in real time, all the guys that were doing the experiments saw was Wanda walk in and then collapse.
Here we go, Mark.
Saw her touched by the stone.
I think you. So this is the wrap.com reviewing the whole episode. The original Age of Ultron story.
Yes.
That she tells Ultron about what happened there is that the bomb was a stud, a dud, and she sat there.
Yes.
But in the Wanda version of the story goes a bit differently. And it says because she was born with her powers.
No, it doesn't.
The WandaVision doesn't because
do that,
Wanda
that's lying.
Prevented it by altering the property. Yes, no.
In WandaVision, the bomb drops. She's laying under the bed.
She stopped
the bomb drops. She just puts her hand out. Agatha pulls her out and says, "How'd you stop that bomb?"
What the Mind Stone served to do, according to WandaVision, was the amp up her abilities. That's what it did.
That's wrong.
She was born with these abilities.
That's wrong. Because she's laying under the bed. Listen to me. Wanda's laying under the bed. I'll pull up this episode right now.
Go ahead.
Wanda's laying under the bed. Yeah. She puts her hand out. As soon as she puts her hand out, Agatha pulls her out from underneath the bed, and it's regular size Wanda again.
So, yeah.
And Agatha says to Wanda, "How'd you stop the bomb?" Wanda goes, "I didn't stop the bomb. It was a dud."
No, she goes, "I always thought it was." And Agatha saying,
"No, it was a dud.
Your powers stopped
for 2 days. We were trapped there for 2 days."
Yes, Mark. No, they're implying that she was born this way.
I'm getting the episode up because you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. The Wire even says it too. The Wrap. Just
because the Wire says doesn't mean it's true.
Look at so everybody's wrong except for you.
That's right.
Listen. This is how I saw it. They were telling us she was born. She was born with the powers.
She was not born that way.
Yes. That's what she was a witch.
Stop. Stupid. Sorry, not you. Pulled up the wrong episode.
Oh, Mark. I'm going to.
All right. We're going to the episode. We're going to the scene. Here's the thing. They're in the thing. Beating each other up. Blah, blah, blah. They're in the thing. They're in the thing. Thing happens. All right. So, here's the scene. I'm sharing it with you now. With sound, scene, share, play. Here we go. Here's the bombing.
I don't see anything. It's black.
Whatever.
Just play it.
I'm playing it. So the bomb just dropped. She's standing in the room.
I can hear it. I can hear it.
I'll explain it to the people who might not be able to. Pietro comes in, grabs her, throws her in the bed. Dud drops, doesn't explode.
Wanda, Tyrion.
Pietro asks her if she's okay, tells them we have to get out of here. Bomb is just blinking. Wanda says they can't because she knows what's going on because she's still Wanda the adult. So she knows that
No,
they can't get out.
They're reliving. They're showing what happened. Keep playing it. Keep playing it.
But
keep
remember,
playing it. Why'd you stop?
But remember,
Hit
I know.
play. I want to hear what Agatha has to say.
I'm gonna keep playing it. But remember, before this whole scene happened, Agatha pushed Wanda into the memory.
Yes, because
to play the part of herself as a child.
Of course.
So she knows what's going on.
No, they're saying she's born with the powers.
They hear people. And she says maybe they're the ones that sent the bomb. She hears things outside. The TV's going. I'm fast forwarding.
I want to hear what Agatha has to say.
So she's looking down now. She's thinking about it. She's looking at Dick Van Dyke Show playing in the back, behind the bomb.
By the end of the episode, you realize it was all a bad dream.
So she thinks it's a dream.
None of it was real.
She just randomly puts her hand out. And Pietro says, Wanda, don't. She was going to go and touch the bomb.
Did you stop that bomb? Used a probability hex.
No, it just never went off. It was defective. We didn't know that.
See?
No, listen, she's confused. Agatha said it was a probability hex.
No, she asked her if it was a probability hex.
No.
She said, did you use a probability hex? She said, no.
That's not how it was. No, play it again.
All right.
She's saying you used it and she did not know. She was born.
No, she's saying no, it wasn't. Here's the scene again.
Did you stop that bomb?
What?
She's confused.
Probability hex.
No, it just never went off. It was defective. We didn't know that. We were trapped.
See?
Keep playing. Nope, I want to hear that.
Agatha's asking
play
her.
It again.
Like she's saying it as a way
asking. She was saying
you used the probability hex, and Wanda's like, no.
That wasn't. There was
it
no
was
question.
a deactive bomb.
Hit play again. Hit play again.
For how long?
2 days.
Huh. So much trauma. And yet, you were safe as kittens the whole time.
So what I see here is a baby witch obsessed with sitcoms and years
she's
of therapy
thinking.
ahead.
She's assuming this is
she's putting it all together. Wanda didn't know this whole time. Yes. Mark, go online. She was born with this and she just didn't know it.
We'll disagree on this. But I think the way I saw it was Agatha's saying you use this, and Wanda's like, no, I didn't.
There was no question.
It's all just coincidence.
No, it wasn't coincidence. She's basically saying
because later on they find out after they go to the next scene, she finds out that she got hit with a Mind Stone,
which amplified her powers.
Which gave her powers.
No, it amplified it. She thought Wanda herself thought that, but she's going back in time and basically saying you've had them the whole time. You just didn't know it.
Okay.
That's what she's saying. She didn't ask a question. She was saying you did this. And Wanda's just kind of confused, like, oh, did
all right,
I?
Well, I took it the other way. I took it as she was saying that, and Wanda's like, no, it was just a coincidence that this bomb didn't go off next to our faces.
She's basically saying, you say you did this, you just didn't know it. That's basically it. Basically saying you were born with these powers.
So then the only reason why she was able to control the Mind Stone was because
she had the powers
she
already.
Had magic powers.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Okay. And amplified her powers for the future, because they would have destroyed her. If she was a human being and she walked in there, it would have controlled her mind. But it didn't.
So it's saying that her brother is a warlock then.
Here's the weird part.
Because he has to have powers too then, because he got powers from the Mind Stone as well.
people are saying, what about her brother? Because they didn't really go into that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. But her kids were born with powers too.
Well, if they're actual kids.
Yeah, if they're well, that's
There's no way Vision doesn't have a thinger that could give her a thinger to give her kids.
Here's my theory. Those kids are fake because I think this entire time Agatha has been pushing them to have kids. If you go back to the very first episode, she'd go, when are you gonna have the kids? And she basically was trying to create these kids.
Well, I think she's created because I think she needs a body to put Scratchy in, her son. That's in the rabbit.
Maybe. Or she could be using those kids to use her to get to Wanda.
To bring out her
motherly instincts.
Witchiness.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the Achilles heel for a mother.
Yeah. Well, anyways, okay. So they go to the next thing is she gets the Mind Stone, hits her, and there's a scene with the Mind Stone, and you see the outline of Scarlet Witch with the hat on and the pointy things and everything, and she's got the big jacket on. And as I was saying earlier, between her legs, as her legs are spread out, is an outline, and you see an outline that looks like a human, but some people are saying if you follow the outline, it makes a cape and it looks like Vision.
It could be a nice little Easter egg. Yeah.
Like two futures is the Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Yeah.
So then after that, we go to do we get the scene of Vision dying? No, the scene of Vision and her in Avengers base watching Malcolm in the Middle.
Yes, which was let's stop there for a minute. Like that was a great scene because
it was a very sentimental. You see them fall basically in love, kind of. Yeah, you saw Wanda fall in love with Vision.
And this is during Age of Ultron. Like
it was after Age of Ultron. It was right before Civil War.
Right, and we saw her just being held captive at the Avengers headquarters.
Well, because they didn't have because they didn't know what to do with her at that point. Because they just brought her back.
Yeah, they didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
and it was kind of see that Vision was showing sympathy and humanity towards her.
He was like learning to be a person.
Yeah, so they kind of learned how to be a person together by watching TV.
Yeah, watching sitcoms. Yeah.
So it's kind of a sweet moment. I like that a lot. I mean, I liked it all. I mean, but that was one of my favorites.
Yeah. And then after that, we get the scene where she goes to get Vision's body, which we find out Hayward's been lying this whole time, saying she took the body.
He's trying to get.
He's trying to make his computer girlfriend or whatever he's trying to make in the background.
Well, his own Hayward is trying to get everybody on his side.
Yeah.
So if he can convince everybody she stole property, we gotta go in. But
which is crazy though, because at the end of the episode, it's there. So it's kind of like if everyone sees it, it's kind of like, well, you definitely didn't take the body because you're using it.
Yeah, but the main people, Wu and Monica and all them, they're like not even
spread
around.
Out all over the place now.
Yeah, so it doesn't even matter. He can do whatever he wants, but he was trying to get them on his side.
But it makes the sword group look very more Hydra-ish than Shield-ish, which to me is it are they going to do like the sword/aim situation, or is it just going to be good sword, bad sword? You're right there. You got a mouse in the house?
No, I thought I heard something. It's weird to introduce sword
and have them be a bad organization already.
Well, you're having one bad guy.
Yeah, but he's the director already. It's like, didn't we just do this with Robert Redford?
I mean, it would be nice that this guy either
like, could we just have like an organization that was like Shield, that's actual Shield, and not like all these corrupt people running different organizations?
You know, it'd be kind of nice if we just see him get arrested or thrown out the final episode. Like
something's gonna happen to him at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
but anyways,
I think he's power hungry. I think he feels like he's doing the right thing, but ultimately he is not.
Yeah,
he's not listening to anybody.
So the last Wanda scene we get is her going to get Vision's body. They've already got him dismantled. He's very symbolically torn apart to look like every like science poster you've ever seen.
What would made him think it was a great idea to show her, to be like, come here.
Come look at this dismembered body of your former lover.
Yeah, I mean,
because this will make it work. Because he needed an alibi.
Well, he had the footage of her hitting the window.
Yeah, so he could use that and splice it together of her landing on the ground, and then they could just say, "Oh yeah, she took his body," but like, there's no evidence of like, she's literally there's video of her just walking out of the parking lot,
right,
to her Buick, which is nicely placed. You can now see Buick is now the official car of Marvel.
Well, hey,
and she drives to New Jersey of all places, and come to find out, Vision had bought land.
It was going to build a house.
I don't know how a robot can buy land, but he did. And,
well, he takes human form, and maybe he wanted to be human. My only guess is,
that's true. Yeah, because he was doing that in the movies towards the end there.
Yeah, he wanted to be a human, and he wanted to maybe have a life with her. So maybe he was like, I have to do things proper. Like, he's smart. He knows I have to do proper things so people don't think I'm an android. So so we see it's a reach, but I get it.
We see Westview 5 years after the blip and the returning of the blip, and you see all the characters some of the characters we've seen in the shows.
Yeah.
Wandering around. And I did say to Brian before we did the show, I think over the weekend I mentioned it. The other ones we didn't see were the husband of Deborah Jo Ruff's character. We didn't see Dottie, the blonde lady.
Yeah, which I don't think they're anybody. I just think they're just not.
I think the blonde lady's got to be something.
You're obsessed with her. I don't think she's anybody.
I don't know. I think there's something going on there. There's still a question floating out there. Who was Wu going to see in town? That disappeared.
It was someone that it was a witness to something, but he's never brought up that person again.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But I'm saying because they're still trapped in town in his mind. So there's been no reason to mention it.
You know what? When the hex goes away, it could be a funny little callback.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Oh, I found him.
Like, so I don't know who that. Like, there's got to be something.
Or it could be somebody kind of big.
That's what I'm saying. So that's still floating around there.
Could be Ant-Man. It could be Lang.
I don't think it's Ant-Man. It could be Agatha. Who knows?
Who knows?
But we do find out that in that scene, Wanda gets to the property, and it's just an empty lot with a foundation.
Yeah.
She falls to the ground in a heart-wrenching scene.
Yeah, that's
literally
good.
For her, heart-wrenching scene. She throws her arms up in the air, screams bloody murder, and creates the hex out of her distraught feelings.
Yeah, she uses all her powers.
And we get the separation of the powers, the chaos magic, which we find out is called chaos magic. And you see the yellow Mind Stone powers, which I don't know if you noticed that when she was creating Vision. Well, coming out this way is like the yellow Mind Stone powers that creates Vision. Yeah. So my thought on that is that Vision that's inside the hex,
it's not real.
It's not real, but is it a manifestation of the Mind Stone?
It's a manifestation of her. It's
no, because it's different. I'm just saying because there's yellow. They showed the yellow power going to build Vision.
Yeah,
which is the color of the Mind Stone, the yellow.
Yeah.
And everything else is the red chaos magic. So I'm saying inside Wanda's powers, which has been perpetuated by the Mind Stone, is there remnants of the Mind Stone inside Wanda? And then can she then take that power that she used to make the fake Vision, and now we have this new white Vision, which will happen in the after credits. Could you then take that power and pop that into
my prediction is one of two things. The white husk of a man that's just an emotionless robot Vision. He's not Ultron.
Yeah,
Ultron's
you almost went for it.
No, Ultron's dead. It has nothing to do with Ultron. He is being powered by the drone that was thrown out there. He will come into it. I honestly think that Wanda will mush the two together.
That's what I'm
because
thinking.
the vision that's in the hex cannot leave.
No.
And he has all the memories.
Yes.
Right? He's an emotional person where
Yes.
this android
Well, he has
will
the
not
memories
be.
now because
I
Yumi
think
gave
they're
it to
going to
her.
meld the two together, and we're basically going to get a
A
vision
new
back.
vision. Yeah.
And he can be emotional again. He might not have all the memories, but it will be
Well, because it'll all be inside the fake vision's got all the brains, and then this one's got
right. You got the heart,
brawn.
and you got the heart and
Yes.
soul, and you got the body.
Yes.
And I think
You're
Wanda
gonna push them together.
could push them together, and we could have Vision back. And I don't think we're gonna go down the road of Ultron again. Nobody gives a shit. We're
No,
done
no,
with
but
Ultron. We're
what I
moving
was
on.
trying to say about that is I think that this white vision of Vision that they make in the after credit scene is gonna have the same like thought processes of Ultron, where it's just an emotionless android, like a kill droid, basically. Like
I
all
think it's just gonna be
all it wants is
yeah,
just death and destruction. It's programmed for one thing, and that's it. It's not gonna have any of the.
Well,
You can't
also,
talk to it. You can't like reason with it. It's gonna be like a Terminator, basically.
see, this is the other thing. I hope we're all wrong here because it's interesting. They're harnessing the power from that drone, which was
Yes.
from the Hex. So
Yeah.
part of me feels like that's from Wanda. So
Yeah.
they're starting him up with that. So
Wanda power is what he's being powered up by.
So potentially,
But technically, he's just raw chaos magic. He's not attached to Wanda, who controls the chaos magic. This is just pure raw chaos magic.
so it could backfire on Sword. That's what
It's
I'm
just going to be a
thinking.
chaos machine. It's going to want to like just destroy. That's all it's going to do.
Maybe.
That's all I'm saying. That's why my connection to Ultron is. It's just going to be like destroy, destroy, destroy. It's not going to have any other thought process.
I would love it if he wakes up, like you see that hand, the moment he looks at his hand, and he just looks around and just destroys the place.
Yeah, that's what
That
I'm
would
thinking.
be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
We also.
But anyways, so back to the inside the hex earlier in the episode, we get that the hex is built. Agatha came into the hex after it was built.
Yes.
Come to find out. And then they cut to a scene. They cut to Agatha standing in the middle of the street, full witch garb, with two child walkers attached to leashes.
Yeah.
Basically. And she's like controlling the children.
I have a feeling those children, or she's using them as an Achilles heel. She's using them.
I think they're just two random kids from town that she grabbed.
Yeah, I really think they're not really her children, or B, they're gonna absorb back into her, because we saw her in the very beginning absorbing people's power.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if she's just using this as an emotional thing.
Yeah. I don't think the kids have any, like a la fake Pietro. I think the kids are the same thing. They're just manifestations.
Me too.
To mess with Wanda.
And I think it's like she's
weaken her to give her information without having to do anything.
What's the worst thing you could do to a mom?
Yeah.
Do something to their kids, or her kids, right? I mean, this is it. I mean, for me, it's like she's fucking with the wrong person.
Because Agatha thinks that she's like this ultimate witch, basically.
Yeah. She doesn't like that.
Yeah. And she wants to be the ultimate witch. So she's like, and then we get the post-credit scene that we just talked about with them and the Hayward powering up the Vision with the drone that was drenched in Wanda magic.
We didn't see two characters.
We didn't see three characters.
Well, we
didn't see four characters. We didn't see Darcy. We didn't see Wu. We didn't see Monica. We didn't see fake Pietro.
Oh yeah, we didn't see fake Pietro. We know grabbed Monica.
Yes.
The last episode, which I'm interested to see what's going to happen there. And then Darcy's just stuck at a stoplight. We don't know.
She was driving to wherever that's going on.
So she could potentially.
We didn't see Vision either. Like the Vision in the Hex Vision.
You're right.
He's flying wherever.
He was coming home. So he potentially could be watching all this from somewhere.
Yeah.
I think he is, because
Yeah.
he would have been there in a like
You think you'd be there instantly. It's not the big one area. So
yeah. I think he's kind of probably watching
Yeah.
and probably figuring out what to do. That's what
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. This next episode is gonna be really good. I like to watch the one episode before it, so I think this week me and Mark talked about we're gonna put our show out on Friday.
Yes.
We're gonna
have
watch
a
it.
special episode on Friday. We're gonna watch the show live on our screens, and then we're gonna post our reactions from during the show and after show for everybody to watch. We're gonna have no news or anything like that. None of that's other stuff in it. This is just gonna be a one-off special. We're gonna try to start doing these for the finales of the individual shows that are coming out.
Yeah.
For this, we're gonna try this with WandaVision and see how it goes. And it should be a good one. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be nice to watch the show with somebody else. That's the one thing I've missed. I haven't been able to like instantly talk about it right afterwards, besides like calling you on the phone.
I know.
But now I can like actually talk to you about it as it's happening, and we could stop it and be like, wait a minute, what just happened?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I mean, listen, I know like when you watch something, sometimes we all interpret things differently. So like I said, I interpreted that she has her powers as a kid.
Yeah.
I would rewatch it, Mark, because that's what.
Well, no, now you like we talk through it, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, so does that mean her brother has powers too?
Yes, I would think they were both born with powers. I mean, I would have to assume if one is, the other had to be as well.
Yeah, especially if the other one gets powers as well.
I mean, we can only speculate that because they didn't tell us, but they did tell us
they're twins.
Right. So. Right. And that was like, for me, that was a big thing. So basically they're not going down the mutant hole right now. They're not ready for that.
They're just going to the magic hole.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe we could see a Doctor Strange appearance because he's magic as well.
Okay, so we have
you can't fight magic without other magic.
Well, here's our prediction. We already had our prediction of what we feel with the whole Vision stuff.
Yes.
But we talked about this in our chat. I don't think personally during the main meat of the show we're going to get a cameo. I think at the very end, after everything.
No, I think after credits you'll get a Doctor Strange.
I think someone will show up to connect it to something else.
Doctor Strange, or I'm even thinking we get. I mean, to me, the connection would be
Nick Fury or Doctor Strange, in my opinion.
Either three options. Nick Fury comes to save Sword.
Yeah.
Either during the episode or at the end of the episode. Doctor Strange shows up at the end of the end credits scene to connect it to his movie.
Yeah.
Or they're saving that scene for later on because Doctor Strange got pushed back. And they're going to do, instead of that, they're going to throw in a scene to connect to Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, all that is possible. They
could go totally bazonkers, and because everything's so thrown off, they throw in a connection to like Shang-Chi or something like that. That's magic.
Yeah, but I think
because that's how they do things in the Marvel universe. It always connects in the end credits to the next thing.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some kind of connection to something next.
I don't know. I like
this
the idea
is shot
of connecting
in connection to Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
that's what people got to remember too. That this was supposed to come out because Doctor Strange is supposed to originally come out right after this show ends.
Yeah,
the show is supposed to lead into Doctor Strange,
but it could still have that because
that's what I'm saying. So there's that possibility, or they could just have changed it to lead into a different thing.
I think a Nick Fury at the very end takes out the guy and says, like, basically he's cleaning house.
Yeah.
And I think that would be
coming
kind of
back
cool
to be director instead of just sitting in a spacecraft somewhere.
It would be kind of cool to have a Nick Fury sort of Easter egg there because this guy.
I also think that could be saved for Winter Soldier, Falcon.
Yeah.
Because he's more in that that grouping.
I know,
I
but
mean, he's more of
yeah.
that because that was more affecting him with the Shield breakup of Hydra and all that. Because whatever's going on in this movie or this series is somewhat going to be going on in Falcon Winter Soldier, because it all takes place around, like, these two take place relatively around the same time. So this is going on with Wanda after Endgame. Falcon Winter Soldier is going to take place around the same time after Endgame. And it's going to show what they're going through coming back after being gone for 5 years.
Right. I don't
And
know.
the loss of Captain America and how, like, they deal with that. And there's going to be Sword, because Sword's going to be the group that they're going to be dealing with. So there's going to be some kind
Sword
of...
will get bigger as we move along.
Yeah. I think we're just
and-
going to find that Sword's just a bad agency to begin with, because it's going to be all these people that were stuck dealing with life after Infinity War.
Yeah.
And they're also jaded and messed up because they've been sitting around for 5 years dealing with all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, all these superheroes and everything just reappear 5 years later. But now they got to deal with all this stuff. Like, Nick Fury's been gone for 5 years. Everyone's been gone for 5 years. And now all of a sudden they're back and they're like needing to get back and being involved in things.
Right.
So,
Well, Mark, I give this episode a 5+ because I think this was my favorite episode in the entire series.
I beg to differ with you. I give this one a 4.
Wow.
Because I don't like Marvel does this a lot. They do the build up, and then like, okay, hold on, let's describe a bunch of stuff before we have the big thing.
Well, you needed answers. We got answers.
Yeah,
That's why
but
I
it was
liked
like, here's all your answers, and now we're gonna have the big fight next episode.
Yeah, I liked it more.
And I don't like that they keep tricking me with the ending of the episodes.
What do you mean?
They, like, right when something good's about to happen, there's like, it's like, come on.
They've been doing that the entire show.
I know, and I don't like it.
For me,
I
it
hate
was the emotional
Drives me nuts.
journey, the emotional journey of her trauma and her working through her trauma
Yeah,
and coming out the other end. So now she can face the trauma, and basically Agatha is sort of like encapsulates that trauma now, and
Yeah.
she can take all her pissed offness on her. And I just love that journey and getting to see her backstory and getting to see parts of
well, I
her
think we're gonna,
history.
like,
So,
in this next episode, we're gonna see Wanda having to learn to control her powers, because I don't think she's
Well-
ever, like, totally, like, harnessed her powers. She's always had them, and, like, we saw bits of it in Infinity War and more of it in Endgame, where she was able to, like, do things. But I think with this is going to be the battle where she, like, fully becomes the Scarlet Witch.
yeah. Oh yeah, we get to see
Yeah.
the Scarlet Witch come out. It's sort of like I said, it's like the Phoenix Rising saga.
Yes. Yeah.
But this is way better. I mean, like,
Yeah. Well, it's, yeah.
Fox had twice to try to tell that story,
Yeah.
and they couldn't do it.
But Marvel's
then-
doing it in one swoop and just being like, yep, we got it.
And you know what? I hope the MCU never has to tell that story, because I don't think they need to. I'm so happy Kevin Feige takes paths and roads that have not been done.
Yeah. I
because
mean, not right
you
away.
don't need to see
I mean,
the same shit over and over again.
in a while they could do it.
I honestly will have the mutants come in. We're gonna be like 80, okay, by the time if they ever decide to do that saga. And I won't be
Hopefully
disappointed
not that
if they
long,
don't.
but hopefully, yeah.
I mean,
You just want them to recast everybody. So it doesn't really matter.
they're gonna.
You'd recast everybody in the whole MCU if you could.
Yes, just do it. I mean,
Recast them all.
They,
Start from scratch.
no, recast the X-Men. Give us a new
Reshoot all these
X-Men.
movies over again. I want to
Because-
see another Captain America First Avenger movie.
That's not what I'm saying, Mark. I'm talking about the X-Men movies. Give us new X-Men.
We're going to have to recast Captain America.
Well, they are. Winter
You know he's going to come back.
Falcon. Falcon's the new.
No,
Captain
sooner or
America.
later they're going to bring back some connection to Steve Rogers.
I don't know. It's fine.
No.
Listen, I don't care. It's hey, it's great.
Because we did get
content,
like
move
I
on.
said before in earlier episodes, we did get the Jeff Rogers reference, who's Steve Rogers' son with Black Widow from another multiverse.
Did we?
Yes.
It could have
Darcy sends an email to a Jeff Rogers.
It could have just been an Easter egg.
Yeah, that's too much of an Easter egg.
They're all Easter eggs. Everything's an Easter egg in this show.
Yeah, but that's too on point.
I don't know. It could
Send an email to another character to then have that email then like just go off into the ether without any kind of answering. It seems kind of surprising to me.
Hey, we'll wait and see, right, Mark? I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, we've been wrong with everything, so who knows?
Yeah,
Anything
who
could
knows?
happen.
Anything can happen.
The Guardians of the Galaxy could land in the middle of the episode, and we'd be like, "Oh, okay, that's happening."
Luke Skywalker shows up.
Luke Skywalker shows up, or Superman lands on the ground, slaps
Slaps
Scarlet Witch on the ass.
I
And
said,
says,
I'm a CW,
baby."
bitch. That's, I don't know why. In our group chat, it's cracked me up. Envisioning Superman from CW landing and slapping everyone on the ass, just going, I'm on CW, bitch. Because it's like, you know,
It's honestly the worst version of Superman ever.
like, God bless Rocky. I'm happy he's excited to watch that show. But you're like, WandaVision's the talk of the town. And then
he wants to worry
CW is
about
like,
some stupid CW show. That
CW is like,
about.
let's drop the new Superman.
Right in the middle
CW
of
show.
this juggernaut that's WandaVision. We'll drop
Yeah.
some random show.
So I just
Where
picture
Superman has kids. People would love to see that right about now.
I just picture him getting like
The
slapping other
last thing
people in
anyone
the ass.
asked for is Superman with kids. That's the last thing anyone ever asked for.
Hey, you CW will try anything.
My God. You know what people would want to see? Dad Superman.
Dad,
Wouldn't that be
bod
great?
Superman, yeah,
Instead of wearing boots, Superman wears a suit wearing New
Crocs.
Balances.
in Crocs, socks. with his
Superman in
Crocs.
New Balances with high ankled socks.
I wear New Balance.
White New Balances. That's dad shoes. Yeah. It's like you get them after a certain age. You just start wearing New Balances.
It's funny because they're supposed to be for active people, and
Yeah, they're not. They're
I'm
just
not,
for dads to sit in chairs.
They're
mow the lawn
comfortable.
in. Yeah.
but they're not. I'm not
Yeah.
active. in
It's
them.
to mow the lawn in. That's what they're for.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's what they're for. My dad's worn New Balances for as long as New Balance has been around, I think.
Yeah. All right, Mark. This has been a show.
It has been.
Let's
has
wrap
been.
it
Pretty
up.
Good one. We had some good discussion. We had some good stuff. We'll see you guys on Friday. Special edition. Stay tuned for it. The season finale, series finale, possibly, of WandaVision.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. We'll see you all then. So long, and good night.
Night.